Hello, welcome to my channel or welcome back. My name is Alyssa and I do a project on my channel called the Four Seasons Project Pan where I pick different products that make me think of a certain season and then I do a randomizer to figure out how many uses I'm going to use them for that season, and then I come back here and report back on how it went. So if you want to know how my spring makeup uses went, then please keep watching. So obviously, I don't think you have to wear spring colors only in springtime, or even that there have to be, spring colors and things like that. But it's just that sometimes it is really spring-like feeling outside, and I want to wear makeup that goes along with that feeling. Other times, it's spring weather, as in it's dreary and dark and rainy, and I want a little bit of color to inspire me. Could also be like that it's winter time and, picking things that inspire me and are sparkly and fun and pretty, can help too. I would say this project is a way of helping me enjoy the change of seasons and getting excited for a new time, because sometimes there's, bad stuff about a change of a season. It's like, I'm trying to think about, I don't know, maybe for springtime it's like, allergies, although my allergies are bad all the time. Winter is like, it's starting to get cold. But actually the winter makeup I had might have been some of my favorite makeup. So that was kind of, fun in its own way. So for the spring set of things, I started off with picking two glosses. So I have pictures and all for them too, so you can see them close up. But both of these glosses, they had a lot of uses that I had to have. So this nude gloss was 29 uses that I had to do. This one, a problem I have with it is that it is heavily fragranced, and it's a weird fragrance. It's not something edible kind of smelling. I know that sounds odd to say, but it's almost like floral. I found that if I had something on underneath and then put it on top, that the scent wasn't as strong and it didn't really feel like I was eating it, okay? And so that was very helpful since it was a lot of uses. For the other gloss, this was fine. It's definitely, I feel like, getting used up fast because this was only 19 uses. It was almost brand new when I rolled it in. So, I do want to make sure I'm not keeping it as like, this is precious, I shouldn't, be using it. I, enjoy it, but I know that glosses and things like that go bad easily. So I want to make sure I finish it up. Another big ticket item, if you will, this liquid blush, I had to use it 45 times. It was a struggle. It started off rough. It got better. I was enjoying it a lot. And, any chance I had, I would put it on. But now that I haven't had to be using it, I'm okay not using it. I don't know. I feel like some of the time that I was wearing it, it was not a great look in the end, as I think I just am still not a convert to liquid blush over powder blush. So, it's fine. I liked that if I wanted to have a pink look, a little bit of a shiny cheek type of look, then this could do that. But yeah, it's not a favorite. What else? This was another cheek product that I rolled in, and I thought that it would be more of just a blush product, but I was using it as a bronzer most of the time. I only had to use it 16 times. I forgot. And so the weights that I did, and I forgot to tell weights. Okay, let me go back and do that. But for this one, I forgot and I didn't end up weighing it until after 20 uses. So oops, but it tells you how much I was, enjoying it. And I've used it way more than since then as well. So the picture is going to be more than the 20 uses even, but it's fine. So this started off at 39 and 1200 grams. It ended when I weighed it at 38 and 2600 grams. So I used 86 hundredths of a gram with those 20 uses. So sorry again. The liquid blush was 36 and 86 hundredths grams, ended up at 36 and 1/10 grams. So I used 76 hundredths grams. So a good bit, considering I'm using a very small amount when I do it. This lip gloss, I used 3/10 of a gram because it started at 25 and 100ths and ended up at 24 and 71 grams. And the other gloss was 41 and 43 grams, ended at 41 grams. So I used 43 of a gram. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and go to eyeshadow. So I had a bunch of singles that I picked out, and it was so easy for this and the palette, because the palette was my Sickly Sweet palette. This is a favorite. These were a lot of fun colors. There were some colors that were a little tricky. I do have up a palette bingo that I did, but it was, palettes bingo with these shades. And, using the green and the blue that are in here were, a little bit of a stretch for me, but I think that was good. So yeah, I only had to use them 5 times each. They were probably I think the singles were done first and then the Sickly Sweet. I'm not sure. It was, to do 5 looks with the Sickly Sweet. So easy. Okay, finally, I have the nail polishes. So I picked 5 different nail polishes. The last one to get finished, but I had to use it 12 times, so that was part of it, was this one called Rose Colored Glasses. It was 66 and 4/10 grams. I used up 1 and 6,500 grams because it is now 64 and 7,500 grams. And I can see, the fill line has gone down, substantially, I feel like, because it was almost brand new when I rolled it in. And I really liked it. I actually have it on today. Maybe I can include a little close up. But I like using it if you just wanted to have, if you're like around my skin color and just using this as a base, it could just look like, you're not wearing nail polish, you just have nice looking nails, that kind of thing. So, you can do that. I didn't, but you can have that. And then putting something sparkly and then having this again on top, like a little jelly sandwich, it's really pretty. And that's what I have today. And that's what I enjoy doing, or just kind of mellowing out some shades, just kind of playing around with layering it. So it wasn't hard to get the uses in. It's just, it was 12 uses, and I was generally using it over most of my nails when I was using it, which is different from some of the other shades. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about this one next from Cleona. So this one I had to use 14 times. That was hard, just because it's such a distinctive color that it just felt really like, okay, can I use something else, please? So yeah, I thought about, should I change how I work this for the next rotation? But I did get through the uses. I did find different ways of wearing it, and then I was still having fun with it. So I think I'm going to still count it as fine. I just didn't make myself wear it all over the nails, all of them all the time. I was, using it as like the French tip type, of a nail, or as a flower and things like that. So it was 59 and 4,500 grams. It ended at 58 and 3,900 grams. So I used 1 and 600 grams. Okay, then for this shade, Meet Cute, this one was 65 and 8,400 grams. After 11 uses, it was 64 and 7,300 grams. So it was 1 and 1,100 grams. So I used more of it, I think, just because when I was doing these uses, I was doing more of my nails. I actually kind of was, I don't know, it felt more versatile than I would have thought. Because I could just wear it as it was, and it's a prettier color, I feel like, than it looks in the bottle. And it also just worked really well with other nail polishes and things that I had, just either wearing it on its own next to something else or layering it with different things. I did have fun with this, so I'm, happy that I had this in my collection. My feet are falling asleep, so I'm gonna sit down a little bit differently, because yeah, I'm on the floor. Okay. Next, here is one of my favorite nail polishes in my collection. And so my fill line is down here now, so, doing pretty well. I only had to use it 6 times, so it was 58 and 8,400 grams. It's now 57 and 3,900 grams. So with those 6 uses, I used, 1 and 4,500 grams of it. I didn't realize I used almost as much as I did for this one with like double the uses. So not even like double, it was double the uses. So, you know, but I think part of it is like, this is more of a thicker type of polish, whereas the other one is more of a thinner type of formula. It's also probably, you know, getting thicker over time, I assume a bit, but it's still totally fine to use. And finally, I had this green goddess shade from Pacifica. I only had to use it 5 times, so it didn't go down a ton. It was 69 and 55 hundredths grams. After 5 uses, it was 68 and 93 hundredths grams. So I used 62 hundredths of a gram. And I still really like this. It has just a hint of shimmer, which is just, you don't notice it unless you're looking up close, but it's just nice to have. And I also really like the tone of it, because I feel like, you know, with certain colors, you might have to be a little bit more mindful, like with your skin tone and how things are going to look. Like that's kind of the whole, like with this pink, it actually worked really well on my hands, which I don't know, it almost looks like it wouldn't, but it is pretty. And the same with this green, that this is, I think, a perfect green for me to have. So that is it for all of my spring makeup usage. And yeah, you have to stay tuned to see what I'm going to roll in for the summer. That video will be going up on June 15th. But I hope you enjoyed seeing all of this, hearing about it. Thank you for watching. Until my next video, I hope you'll be doing well, and I'll see you then. Bye!